It's Saturday morning. You're in sweatpants, coffee's cold. You've been staring at your phone for 11 minutes. You're 45. You don't have $1 million. You have a 401k you're afraid to open, a mortgage with 22 years left, and a Parent Plus loan statement sitting unopened on the counter. And you're doing what millions of Americans are doing this morning, trying to figure out if you are the failure or if the number is. I've got good news and bad news. Good news, that number is a lie. Bad news, the real number isn't much better, and it comes with a clock attached. This is Build a Millionaire. Today, exactly where you stand at 45 in 2026. Here's the number you've seen everywhere. According to the Federal Reserve, the average American household aged 45 to 54 has a net worth of $975,800. Almost $1 million. That number lands like a punch in the stomach. But here's the truth. That's the average. The median, the person standing in the middle when you line everyone up from poorest to richest, is $247,200. That's a gap of $728,600. When CNBC says average 45-year-old is worth nearly $1 million, they're putting Jeff Bezos and your coworker who drives a 2014 Camry in the same sentence. So pause right now. Seriously, add up bank accounts, 401k, home equity, then subtract credit cards, mortgage, car loan, student debt. Write that number down. I'll wait. Here's where you actually stand at 45 in 2026. Bottom 25%, under $48,000. Median, exactly middle, $247,000. Top 25%, $680,000. Top 10%, $1.4 million. Top 1%, $8.7 million or more. Most people hear $247,000 and think, okay, that's real money. But here's what nobody tells you. For the typical 45-year-old, 60 to 70% of that is in home equity. Take $247,000, subtract $160,000 in home equity. You're left with $87,000 for everything else. Retirement, emergency fund, college, the vacation you promised your wife 4 years ago. And home equity? You can't eat it. You can't pay the electric bill with it. You can't hand Kroger a deed. Sell the house, then need another one. Refinance, closing costs plus mortgage until 78. Or borrow at 9% with a HELOC, paying a bank to use your own money. That $247K looks good on paper. It does not feel good in a Kroger parking lot when gas is $3.70 and your kid just asked for pizza. Fidelity says by age 50, you should have 6 times your salary saved for retirement. Median household income at 45? $116,800. So you'd need $700,000 by 50. Ready for the real number? Median 401k balance for ages 45 to 54? $60,763. Not $600K, $60,000. That's 0.5 times income, not 6 times. 10 times behind. Even adding IRAs and pensions? Total retirement savings? Around $115,000. 38% of households aged 45 to 55 have zero retirement savings. 3 out of 8 people at peak earning age, nothing. If your chest just tightened, that's the correct reaction. Between 2019 and 2023, pandemic stock boom, housing explosion, every age group gained wealth, except one. Ages 40 to 54, down 7% in real terms. If you were 30 in 2012, you had cheap mortgages, a roaring stock market, and crypto lottery tickets. If you were 65 in 2012, you already owned the house. Just sit there. But if you were 35 in 2012, you survived 2008. Wages barely barely recovering, still renting. By the time you could buy, 2019, 2020, prices had tripled. The window to build wealth the easy way closed exactly when it was your turn. Today's 45-year-old is actually slightly wealthier than boomers were at the same age, inflation adjusted. So you didn't fail. The game got harder. Gen X carries the highest debt of any generation. Average, $158,105 in total debt. Credit cards, $9,600 at 21% plus interest. Auto loans, mortgages, HELOCs, all highest. And 1 in 10 Gen Xers still paying student loans, mostly Parent Plus loans at 9.08% interest plus 4.2% origination fee. That's financial violence that should require a court order. 54% of Americans in their 40s are supporting an aging parent and raising a kid, or helping an adult child. 1 in 5 are doing all three. Mom in assisted living, $6,200 a month. Medicare doesn't pay. My share, $1,400. Son moved back home, no rent. Daughter needs braces and travel soccer. Average cost to raise a child to 18, $320,000. Childcare, 22% of family income. Supporting adult child, $1,384 a month average. It is structurally impossible to max out a 401k while writing checks to memory care and covering rent for a 24-year-old sleeping under a Kobe Bryant poster. You've heard about the $84 trillion great wealth transfer from boomers. Only 22% of boomers plan to leave anything. 65% of Gen X doesn't even have a will. Median inheritance for the bottom half of America, $9,700. A 2014 Corolla with a check engine light. And long-term care, average end-of-life care, $137,000. Retirement health care, another $172,000. That nursing home is eating the inheritance while you wait. Social Security's Old Age Trust Fund runs out in 2035. Then, incoming payroll taxes cover only 77% of benefits. Automatic 23% cut for everyone. Oldest Gen X hits full retirement age, 67, in 2032, 3 years before the cut. 77% of Gen X fears Social Security won't be fully there. They're not paranoid. They're reading the trustee's own report. Here's where you actually stand. $247,000 net worth, mostly house. $158,000 debt. Mom in assisted living. Kid back home. Inheritance shrinking. Social Security shrinking. That's not a portfolio. That's a math problem. But it has a solution. If you save $1,000 a month from age 45 to 65 at 7, that's roughly $500,000 to $600,000. Not beach money, but the difference between security and Googling cheapest dates for seniors on fixed income at 72. Dave bumps his 401k from 6% to 10%, $390 more a month. Adds $300 per month to an IRA, $700 total. 20 years at 7%, $380,000. From one conversation with HR on a Monday morning in sweatpants. The number you wrote down at the beginning, that's not the number that matters. The number that matters is where you'll be in 2046. When some other guy is standing in his kitchen at 45, wondering if he's behind. The race started 15 years ago, but it's still on. This is Build a Millionaire. You're not cooked. You just have to start.